Thank you for joining me in this class where we are going to play with a ball. If you don't have a ball, you can also use a pair of socks. So having one sock inside the other, and you can roll it up to make a ball. So let's get started in a standing position, choosing your stance as usual, and you're gonna hold your ball in your right hand. So then turn your palm down so your ball is facing down, and extend your right arm in front of you. And then start to lower your arm, and you're gonna circle it back, lifting it as much as you can behind you. And then rotating from your shoulder, you're gonna lift your arm towards the ceiling and next to your right ear. And then straighten it again in front of you, but this time you're gonna have your palm facing towards the ceiling. Then again, turn your palm down, circle your arm back, rotating again at your shoulder to extend your arm towards the ceiling, and then forward with your palm towards the ceiling. And one more. So palm down, circle back, and up, and forward with your palm towards the ceiling. Now, from here, you're gonna bring your arm slightly back next to your hip, and then throw your ball in front of you to catch it with your left hand. So you're gonna catch it with your palm down so that you're ready to do the same circle with your left arm. So once you throw your ball with your right hand with the palm up, catching with your left hand with the palm down, then straighten your left arm in front of you, so palm down towards the floor, and start to circle it back. Then lift it behind you and rotate at your shoulder to lift your left arm towards the ceiling next to your left ear, and continue to rotate so that your palm is facing towards the ceiling, your left arm is extended in front of you. And then two more times. So palm down, circle your left arm back and up and forward with your palm up. And one more time, palm down, circle your arm back and up, forward with your palm up. Keep your palm up, and then your left arm will travel back slightly to have a little bit of momentum so that you can throw your ball, catch it with your right hand. And we're doing the same now with the right arm, just one circle. So starting with your palm down, circle your arm, and with your palm up, little bit of momentum to throw your ball to the left hand, and then do the same on the left. So one circle, then throw, catch with your right hand palm down, and circle on the right. And then throw, catch with your left hand palm down, circle your arm, throw palm up, catch palm down, and repeat. So throw palm up, catch palm down, and alternate at your own pace. So if you're pretty comfortable with this movement, you can speed it up. So it's a good warm-up for the shoulders. And we start to also tap a little bit more into vision work, coordination, a little bit of a warm-up for the brain as well. If that's really easy, you can try to do it with your eyes closed. That can be scary at first, but then once the body gets it, that's possible to do it. Whoops. And if your ball is falling sometimes, don't worry. That's part of the process. So there's often a lot of running after a ball when we're exercising with one. So that's also part of the fun. Good. And you're gonna slow down the movement, but still continue it. And we're gonna add a little bit on top of that. So next time you're throwing the ball, you're gonna clap your hands before you catch the ball with the other hand. So you're circling your arm, throwing the ball, clap and catch. So let's try that. Circle, throw, clap, catch. And then you have the momentum of catching so that your arm then directly goes back to circle again. So throw, clap, catch, circle. Throw, clap, catch, circle. And throw, clap, catch, circle. And continue at your own pace again. See how that works. If there's a little bit of adaptation that needs to occur before getting the movement, that's also totally normal. Don't expect to directly figure the movement out the first time. It can take few repetitions or more. Again, letting the brain slowly figuring it out, getting used to the movement. It's totally normal if it takes time. If again, sometimes your ball wanders off. Again, you can choose your speed. If you want to do it faster, slower, if adding the clap is too much of a challenge, if that doesn't work quite right, then you can do the pass as we did at the beginning. So just focusing on the pass right now, not adding the clap. Good. And slow down the movement again. I often drop the ball. So even being a teacher doesn't prevent you from not dropping it. Good. And let's do one more time on the right. And on the left. Good. So you're gonna grab the ball with your right hand. Again, choosing your stance here, we're gonna do something a little different. So you're gonna throw the ball palm up with your right hand, catching palm up with your right hand. So just like that, throwing the ball up, palm up, catching with your palm up. But we're gonna add a little bit again on top of that. So as your ball is gonna be in the air, with your right hand you're gonna slap your left knee. So opposite knee. So that will look like that. Your throw, clap, catch. Throw, clap, catch. Whoops. That happens. Throw, clap, catch. Throw, clap, catch. And play with that for now. With your right hand, tapping your left knee. So you're lifting your left knee when your ball is in the air and tapping it with your right hand. So follow the ball with your eyes, especially the top of the ball if you can. And see if you can coordinate those two movements. Throwing and tapping, well, and lifting the legs. So that's maybe 3 movements. Good. How is it going? Let's do a couple more. Just getting used to that motion because we will add more on top of that. Perfect. Then you're gonna pass the ball in your left hand and do the same on the left. So when you're throwing your ball, this time your left hand will tap your right knee. So you're lifting the knee, tap and catch. So let's try on the left, see how that goes. Throwing, tapping, catching. And this type of work, it's often when you realize that the two parts of your body, meaning your left and your right, are not working in the same way really. So I know that on my left side I have a much harder time throwing the ball upright. It's kind of going in every direction. So observe how that feels in your body, what kind of differences you can note between your left side and your right side. So let's do a couple more, again getting used to the movement on the left. Following the ball with your eyes. It's a great way to actually develop more accuracy and agility in your movement, so reacting faster to the events that are occurring, having a sharper mind. I don't know if you feel it in your leg, the leg that you lift, meaning your right leg right now, but that's also a little bit of work for the hamstrings. Good. Let's just do a few more. All right, perfect. So we're going to repeat that, but we're going to switch side every time, so alternating between the right and left. So right now your ball is in your left hand. You pass it in your right hand, you do the same thing, you throw, tap, catch, then passing in your left hand, throw, tap, catch, passing, throw, tap, catch, and pass, throw, tap, catch, and pass. And maybe sometimes your ball falls in between. That's totally all right, totally normal. But see if you can repeat that pattern. So alternating between right and left. Every time you catch the ball, you pass it to the other hand. Go slow at first. And then when you are ready, you can increase the speed a little bit. So again, it's when you are ready, when you feel that you get a better sense of what the movement looks like. And it's totally normal if sometimes you get confused, like you're slapping the ipsilateral knee, meaning the same knee. Sometimes you're catching the ball when you didn't want to catch the ball, or anything can happen. It's normal if it's confusing at first. You can always alternate, sometimes go a little slower, sometimes a little faster. Perfect. Whoops. And come back to center with your ball in your right hand. And from here, come into a warrior 2 position. So toes of your right foot turn to the right, bend your right knee, and your left leg stays extended with your left toes pointing forward. Open your arms on each side of your body in a sort of a T shape. So you're holding the ball in your right hand with your palm turned towards the floor. So you're gonna throw the ball in the air with your right hand, catch it with your left hand. And you're gonna use the momentum of catching it, so with your palm down, to then circle your left arm down and to the left, so that you're swapping sides. So you're coming into a warrior two on your left side, and then you're repeating the same thing. So throwing the ball, catching it with your right hand, and then swap side and repeat. So you can go slow at first, trying to coordinate the action of the arm sweeping to the other side so that the feet are then turning. And once you get the movement, and I'm not too worried about the exact position of your feet, by the way, they might not totally point to the right and forward or left and forward, so it's not really the alignment that matters here. But once you get a bit more used to the movement, to this motion, coordination of the arms and the legs, then start to add a little bit more speed and see if you can swap sides faster. Moving a little bit like a ninja. Always looking at the ball. If you drop it, that's totally fine. It's part of the process. And observe over time if the movement becomes more efficient. If you feel that your body is figuring it out, that the movements are a bit more precise, a bit more fluid, logical. Good. Let's do one more on the right and on the left. Come back to center in a normal standing position. And you're gonna actually step your right foot forward. So you have the ball in your right hand. You're gonna extend your right arm in front of you, palm down. And you can actually lift it a little higher than shoulder height. So you will drop the ball very fast and then catch it with your left hand. And as you are extending your left arm to catch the ball, your left foot will go forward. So it will go quite fast, and that will resemble of a walking motion. So as we are walking our feet, we will coordinate the movement of the arms that are reaching for the ball. So let's try that on the left. Left foot forward, left arm extended in front of you with your palm down. Lift your left arm a little higher, and as you are very quickly dropping the ball, catch it with your right arm and then step forward with your right foot. So we will alternate that movement, starting again on the right and left and right and left. And once you hit a wall or you cannot go any further in your practice space, then you will walk backward, but this time your foot and arm will work contralaterally. So it means that if I'm on my right side and I catch the ball then with my left hand, then I back up with my right foot. So let's try that. Going the other direction. Good. And then walk forward again once you cannot go any further. And you will always reverse, walking backward and forward. So take your time. At first it's a very confusing movement to do. And again, if you drop the ball, don't worry too much about it. And often there will be a side that has an easier time than the other. That's again totally normal. Observe if that's the case. And take time to pause when you need to think a little bit. There's no need to go very fast, only to catch the ball, but take time to do your steps. Good. We're gonna do one more line, so going forward and then back. Perfect. And come back to a kind of standard static standing position. And simply start to pass the ball in one hand and the other. So it can be this kind of a pass more directly in a straight line, or you can throw it more in the air and catch it. So feel free to alternate, sometimes in a line, sometimes more this little triangle shape. Always follow it with your eyes. And now see if you can focus a little bit more on the sensation in your hands. How does your ball feel? Feel it as you are catching it, as you are throwing it. And start to walk. As you are doing that movement, passing the ball, just passing it again in different ways. You can also just do it with one hand, up and down. So alternate every time. Now you are going to close your eyes and still pass it from one hand to the other. So it will be maybe smaller pass at first, a bit closer together. But see if you can continue to walk and still throw the ball, pass it from one hand and the other. So we're using here our proprioceptive system. So coordinating the hands without seeing them. So it's that one hand will know how far it throws the ball. The other hand will know approximately where the ball will be. If you are very comfortable, you can make longer passes, so having your hands a bit further away from each other. Throwing the ball a bit higher, maybe. I know that for me, using just one hand is particularly hard. So try different things. Good. Then come back to a static position. You're going to still have your eyes closed and holding the ball in your right hand. And you will pick a place anywhere in front of your head where you will stop, so still holding the ball, and you will place your left hand without looking at it in a way that will allow it to catch the ball. So somewhere below your right hand, and you will drop the ball and trust that your left hand will catch it. And then you're doing the same with your left hand, so you're stopping it somewhere in front of you, and then place your right hand under, so it can be closer to the ball or a little bit more towards the floor. Then drop and see if you catch it. And let's do it 2 more times on each side. So on the right, picking a different space. And then once you catch it, do it on the left. Picking again a different space. And one more on the right. And on the left. Whoops, that one didn't work for me. Good, how did it go? Don't hesitate to let me know how that went for you. That will be it for our little ball flow play class. So thank you for joining me. I hope you had fun and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.